How to create board papers that your board will love. There's some tricks of the trade here. If you follow what I'm telling you in this video and you use the template available, your board is going to love your board papers. All right, number one. These are the core sections for briefing papers to the board. One, an executive summary. Your top line information. If your non-exec is going to read anything, they should read this and at least they have an idea of what the topic is all about. Then background and context. So you don't want to give them a massive history lesson, but you want to give people sufficient information to understand why is this particular topic, why is this issue being discussed now? Why is it on the agenda now? What is the relation between this point and the strategic goals of the business? What's the action required? Be very explicit about what this topic is going to lead to. Are you simply providing information to the board? Nothing else needed, just you need to know, you need to be aware. Are you asking for an approval of spending, of investment, a business plan, a decision? Be clear. I need this. This is why this is on the agenda. Do you need input on a draft plan? Do you just want to discuss it? It's more than just telling you, I want your input, but we don't need to make a decision on it right now. So the management recommendation is something that you have to provide. So if a decision is needing to be made, you want to approve a recommended course of action. You have to assume that your non-execs are not going to jump to your ideal conclusion. So you have to recommend something, but you have to provide a foundation for that recommendation. So you have to provide supporting data. How you do this is actually quite important. As a founder, a CEO, an MD, you live and breathe your business and everything in it. Your non-execs don't. They only have a day a month, 2 days a quarter, whatever the commitment is. They're not in this all the time. So you have to hold them by the hand and you have to guide them through the topic. So that means relevant charts and tables. Only information that adds clarity to the issue. Data is often better provided as an appendix. So if you have non-execs that you know are going to be really keen to see the raw data, provide the big tables and lots of numbers as a separate appendix to your board papers. In most cases, you need to provide the right chart or the right table that clearly shows what this issue is all about and why a certain decision is required. Provide some risks. Don't pretend there aren't any risks. What could go wrong? There's always potential downsides to any course of action that you do. Sometimes they're very clear and sometimes they are not so clear. And so one thing you want to do is point out, okay, this is my plan, but here's the potential downsides that we need to be aware of. If you can't think of any downsides, you must ask your board. This is my plan. This is my recommendation. This is what we should do. I don't see the weak spots. I don't see the potential risks. I would like you to review, reflect, and I would like you to have a think about what the potential risks to the business are if we go down this road. And ask people, and how can we mitigate these? Use your board members' expertise and experience to mitigate the risks. So how do you structure the board briefing paper? Make it reader friendly. People are very busy. So clear headings, easy to scan, and people can jump straight to the section that they need to read. Bullet points over novels. It's much easier to take lots of information in if you subdivide it into bullet points rather than hide it in 4 or 5 paragraphs of text. Here are the 4 key bullet points. Okay, got it. Keep it short. Briefing papers, really 2 to 4 pages, sometimes 5 if it's really a big issue and important, or it has big pictures in it or big charts in it. 3 pages is pretty good. If you're going to provide a briefing paper that's more than 3 pages, it either better be heavy on the images and the charts, or you have to provide a really good executive summary. Jargon, avoid it. You might have a very deep knowledge of the day-to-day of your business and your industry, but your board members might not have the same level of knowledge of jargon, acronyms, phrases. Write in normal English. If you are going to use an acronym, always explain what it means. And finally, for an MD, a CEO, or a founder, ask your team to help prepare the board papers. They can maybe not write the whole document, but they can prepare specific sections. This is going to save you time, because then you only need to edit, review the document rather than create it from scratch. And it also helps people to learn the kind of information you have to provide to the board. So send out the board papers in time. This is one of the worst mistakes that most CEOs, MDs, founders make consistently. They send out the board papers the day before the board meeting. It's absolutely useless. You might as well not bother having the board meeting at that point. You've got to get these board papers about 5 days before the board meeting to your chair, to your non-exec. They need time to read, they need time to think, they need time to come up with questions. If you want to get value from your board, you have got to prepare those papers in time. So before the board meeting day, you have an opportunity, and your board members will have an opportunity to ask questions or clarify any issues. So sometimes it's better to organize these things offline. You cannot expect a constructive and a productive board meeting if you do not make the relevant information available on time to your board. It's your responsibility to do so, and use your team to help you prepare those board papers and briefing papers.